First contact, unexpected encounter. The research vessel Zenora drifted silently through the star-speckled void, its advanced scanning systems meticulously analyzing the small blue-green planet below. Dr. Zara Krell, lead xenobiologist of the Quantum Collective, adjusted her neural interface, her multi-jointed fingers tapping precise coordinates into the ship's holographic display. Preliminary scans are peculiar, she murmured to her assistant, a young researcher named Vex. The hologram flickered, displaying complex biological and technological data that seemed to defy their standard classification protocols. Humans. A species that had somehow slipped through the galactic community's comprehensive mapping systems. Initial observations suggested a primitive civilization, yet underlying patterns hinted at something far more complex. The ship's communication officer, Ral, interrupted their analysis. We're detecting multiple communication signals. They're chaotic. Multiple frequencies, contradictory information streams. Zara leaned closer to the display. Unlike most developing civilizations they'd encountered, these humans seemed to communicate through an intricate, seemingly random network. Radio waves, digital transmissions, optical communications, all intertwined in a pattern that looked more like organized confusion than structured communication. Their technology is inconsistent, Vex observed, pulling up comparative data. Advanced computational systems existing alongside remarkably primitive infrastructure. Look here, they have devices capable of complex calculations, yet many individuals use these same devices primarily for sharing images of small furry creatures. The irony wasn't lost on Zara. The Quantum Collective had spent centuries developing precise communication protocols, and here was a species that seemed to thrive on miscommunication and unexpected connections. A sudden alert flashed across the ship's main screen. One of their passive observation drones had been detected, not by sophisticated tracking systems, but by a network of amateur observers using handheld devices. "They've seen us," Raoul said, a hint of concern in his voice. "But not through official channels. Some human referred to our drone as a weird sky thing on a platform called social media. Zara couldn't help but feel a mix of frustration and intrigue. Their carefully planned observation protocol was unraveling, not through advanced counterintelligence, but through the most unpredictable of means, human curiosity and their propensity for sharing information. As they watched, the human response defied every diplomatic protocol in the Quantum Collective's extensive archives. Instead of governmental communication or scientific inquiry, the drone's detection triggered a wave of speculation, humor, and wild theories. Memes. Conspiracy theories. Speculative fiction. The humans were processing the potential alien presence through creativity and collective imagination. "They're treating a potential first contact scenario as entertainment," Vex said, equal parts bewildered and fascinated. Zara watched the rapidly spreading digital conversations. Humans were discussing potential alien motivations, creating elaborate scenarios, and even generating humorous images, all within minutes of the drone's detection. "Not entertainment," she corrected her assistant. "Adaptation. They're processing the unknown through their most powerful tool, collective imagination." The ship's xenopsychology algorithms were struggling to categorize the human response. No panic. No unified governmental reaction. Just a remarkable, distributed network of individual responses that somehow coalesced into a form of collective understanding. Little did the Quantum Collective know, this was just the beginning of their journey to understand humanity, a species that would challenge everything they thought they knew about intelligence, communication, and potential. The Galactic Misunderstanding. The incident that followed the drone detection would become legendary in the annals of interstellar diplomacy. As the Quantum Collective scrambled to understand the human response, an unexpected breakthrough occurred in the most improbable location, a small coffee shop in downtown Seattle. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a quantum physicist working on cutting-edge computational theory, sat surrounded by scattered research papers and half-empty coffee cups. Her latest algorithm seemed to be dancing on the edge of a breakthrough, a mathematical model that could potentially explain quantum entanglement in ways no previous researcher had conceived. Unbeknownst to her, the Zenora's observation team had identified her as a potential key to understanding human cognitive processes. Their advanced neural scanners detected something extraordinary, patterns of thought that defied traditional scientific reasoning. As Elena scribbled complex equations, the cafe's electronic display suddenly flickered. Most patrons barely noticed, but her trained eye caught the anomaly. A series of mathematical symbols began to appear, not random glitches, but a complex communication attempt. The quantum collective's communication protocol was designed to be universal, based on mathematical principles they believed would be comprehensible to any advanced intelligence. What they didn't anticipate was Elena's unique ability to not just interpret, but actively engage with the unexpected communication. Her fingers moved across her notebook, translating and responding to the alien communication in a way that simultaneously fascinated and terrified the Zenora's research team. She wasn't just receiving their message, she was expanding upon it, introducing variables and conceptual frameworks they had never considered. Vex, watching from the ship's observation deck, turned to Dr. Zara Krell with a mix of shock and excitement. She's not just understanding their communication. She's improving it. The implications were staggering. Humans weren't just a primitive species to be studied, they were potential intellectual partners capable of revolutionary thinking. Meanwhile, the global response to the potential alien presence continued to baffle the quantum collective. While some humans engaged in serious scientific speculation, others created elaborate meme cultures, conspiracy theories, and speculative fiction about the encounter. A teenage programmer in Mumbai developed an AI algorithm attempting to decode potential alien communication patterns. A group of astronomers in Chile began coordinating amateur observation networks. Social media platforms exploded with theories, jokes, and creative interpretations. The quantum collective's carefully planned first contact protocols were dissolving, replaced by a complex, distributed network of human curiosity and creativity. Dr. Krell realized they were facing something unprecedented, a species that didn't just react to the unknown, but transformed it through collective imagination and individual brilliance. The real first contact was happening not through official channels, but through a web of human connections that defied traditional understanding of communication and intelligence. Humanity's hidden potential. The global response to the potential alien presence reached a critical point when Dr. Elena Rodriguez's research caught the attention of both human authorities and the quantum collective. Her breakthrough mathematical model, inadvertently created during her interaction with the alien communication, revealed something extraordinary about human cognitive capabilities. The Zenora's research team discovered that humans possessed a unique ability to process information through nonlinear, intuitive pathways. Where most advanced civilizations relied on strict logical frameworks, humans demonstrated a remarkable capacity for creative problem-solving that defied conventional scientific understanding. Dr. Zara Krell identified a critical characteristic: human innovation often emerged from what appeared to be chaos. Their most significant technological advances seemed to occur through accidental discoveries, collaborative thinking, and seemingly random connections. A global network of researchers, engineers, and innovators began spontaneously collaborating. What started as isolated investigations into the potential alien communication transformed into an unprecedented collective intelligence experiment. In a small laboratory in Tokyo, a team of robotics engineers used Elena's mathematical model to develop a breakthrough in adaptive neural networks. In Cape Town, a group of environmental scientists applied the same principles to climate change modeling, creating predictive systems that outperformed any previous computational models. The quantum collective's observation protocols began to change. What they had initially considered a primitive species was revealing itself to be something far more complex, a civilization with potential for extraordinary adaptation and innovation. Vex, analyzing the emerging data, made a startling observation. They're not just responding to the unknown, he told Dr. Krell. They're transforming it. Each challenge becomes an opportunity for collective creativity. The alien research team realized they were witnessing something unprecedented, a species that didn't just survive challenges but thrived on them. Humans seem to possess an innate ability to turn limitations into strengths, to find unexpected solutions in the most unlikely circumstances. As global communication and collaboration intensified, the quantum collective began to understand that their initial classification of humans as a mostly harmless species was catastrophically incorrect. Humanity was preparing for something beyond mere first contact. They were preparing to engage with the unknown in a way no civilization had ever done before, not with fear, but with unrestrained curiosity and collective imagination. The turning point. The moment of transformation began in the most unexpected manner. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's mathematical breakthrough had caught the attention of both human governments and the quantum collective, but it was a seemingly unrelated event that would truly demonstrate humanity's potential. A global network of researchers, activists, and ordinary citizens had begun to mobilize around a complex challenge that had stumped the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy, a sustainable solution to multiple interconnected global crises. Climate change, resource scarcity, and technological limitations had long been considered insurmountable obstacles by most advanced species. Humans approached the problem differently. Instead of seeking a single, comprehensive solution, they began a massive, distributed problem-solving initiative. Online platforms, research institutions, community groups, and individual innovators started sharing ideas, creating collaborative frameworks that defied traditional scientific methodologies. Dr. Krell and her team aboard the Zenora watched in amazement as humans demonstrated an unprecedented approach to complex problem-solving. Where most civilizations would create hierarchical research structures, humans developed a fluid, adaptive network of innovation. In Brazil, a group of environmental engineers collaborated with indigenous communities to develop regenerative agricultural techniques. Their approach combined traditional ecological knowledge with cutting-edge technological solutions. Meanwhile, in Kenya, a team of young entrepreneurs created a decentralized energy grid that could adapt to local environmental conditions with remarkable efficiency. The quantum collective's most advanced predictive algorithms began to fail. Human innovation didn't follow linear progression, it moved in unexpected, almost organic patterns of development. Vex, analyzing the emerging data, made a breakthrough observation. They're not just solving problems, he told Dr. Krell. They're reimagining the entire concept of problem-solving. The global initiative took on a life of its own. What had started as a coordinated research effort became a planetary-scale demonstration of collective human potential. Universities, corporations, governments, and individual innovators began breaking down traditional barriers of collaboration. A remarkable pattern emerged. Humans seemed to thrive on challenges that would paralyze most other species. Where traditional scientific approaches would become bogged down in bureaucratic limitations, human collaboration found creative workarounds. An AI developed by a collective of researchers in India created a predictive model that could anticipate environmental changes with unprecedented accuracy. Almost simultaneously, a group of students in Argentina developed a modular infrastructure design that could be rapidly adapted to various environmental conditions. The quantum collective's observation protocols were completely overwhelmed. Their most sophisticated tracking systems struggled to categorize the human response. It wasn't just technological innovation, it was a fundamental reimagining of how species could approach global challenges. Dr. Sarah Chen realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humans weren't just solving problems, they were transforming the very nature of problem solving. Their approach was inherently adaptive, combining individual creativity with collective intelligence in a way no other known civilization had achieved. The alien research team began to understand that they had gravely underestimated humanity. What appeared to be chaos was actually an incredibly sophisticated form of collective intelligence. Humans didn't just respond to challenges, they anticipated them, transformed them, and used them as opportunities for growth. As the global initiative continued to develop, the quantum collective faced a critical decision. Their initial mission of observation had transformed into something far more significant. Humanity was not a species to be studied from a distance, they were potential partners in addressing challenges that had long seemed insurmountable. The turning point was not a single moment of discovery, but a continuous process of collaborative innovation. Humans were demonstrating a form of intelligence that transcended traditional scientific understanding, a blend of creativity, adaptability, and collective potential that challenged everything the quantum collective thought they knew about intelligent life. Transcendence and understanding. The final phase of humanity's encounter with the quantum collective would become a pivotal moment in interstellar history. What had begun as a tentative observation had transformed into a profound dialogue between two fundamentally different approaches to intelligence and existence. Dr. Elena Rodriguez found herself at the center of an unprecedented diplomatic and scientific exchange. The Zenora's research team, led by Dr. Zara Krell, had abandoned their initial clinical approach of observation and was now actively seeking to understand humanity's unique cognitive capabilities. A special conference was convened, not in a traditional governmental setting, but in a collaborative space that reflected humanity's approach to complex challenges. Representatives from diverse backgrounds gathered, scientists, artists, philosophers, community leaders, and innovators from every corner of the globe. The Quantum Collective's delegation was initially prepared for a standard first contact protocol. Instead, they found themselves immersed in a dynamic, multidimensional conversation that defied their traditional communication frameworks. Dr. Krell presented their initial findings, expecting a structured academic response. Instead, the human representatives began to deconstruct, challenge, and reimagine the very premise of their research. It wasn't confrontational, it was a collaborative process of mutual understanding. An indigenous environmental leader from Australia connected the alien researchers' observations to traditional ecological knowledge. A quantum physicist from CERN drew parallels between the quantum collective's communication methods and complex mathematical models. A street artist from Rio de Janeiro illustrated the concepts through visual metaphors that somehow made the complex utterly comprehensible. Vex, the quantum collective's young researcher, found himself both frustrated and exhilarated. The humans were doing something unprecedented, they were treating first contact not as a diplomatic exercise, but as a collaborative journey of mutual discovery. The most surprising revelations came from unexpected sources. A group of high school students from a small town in India demonstrated a communication algorithm that could bridge linguistic and cultural barriers in ways that surpassed the quantum collective's most advanced translation technologies. As the dialogue progressed, it became clear that humanity's greatest strength was not any single technological or intellectual achievement, but their ability to connect, adapt, and transform challenges into opportunities. The alien researchers discovered that human creativity was not a random process, but a sophisticated form of collective intelligence. Their seemingly chaotic approach to problem-solving was actually an incredibly nuanced method of navigating complexity. Dr. Elena Rodriguez presented a comprehensive model that explained humanity's unique cognitive approach. It wasn't about linear progression or fixed methodologies, but about continuous adaptation, collaborative creativity, and an innate ability to find connection in apparent chaos. The quantum collective's understanding of intelligence was fundamentally challenged. Humans didn't just solve problems, they reimagined the very nature of problem solving. Their approach was simultaneously analytical and intuitive, structured and wildly creative. As the conference reached its climax, something extraordinary happened. The alien researchers began to adopt human communication methods, not as a scientific exercise, but as a genuine attempt to understand a fundamentally different approach to intelligence and existence. Vex, who had been the most skeptical of the human approach, found himself transformed. They're not just a species to be studied, he told Dr. Krell. They're potential partners in understanding the universe itself. The final breakthrough came not through advanced technology or complex scientific protocols, but through a simple act of human creativity. A collaborative artwork, created by participants from around the globe during the conference, became a living representation of the dialogue between two fundamentally different forms of intelligence. The artwork was more than a visual representation. It was a communication method that transcended traditional linguistic and scientific barriers. Each element told a story, connected to others in ways that were simultaneously logical and intuitive. As the quantum collective prepared to depart, they realized that their mission had transformed completely. What had begun as a scientific observation had become a profound exchange of understanding. Humanity was not just a species to be classified or studied. They were a dynamic, evolving form of intelligence that challenged every preconceived notion of what it means to be an advanced civilization. The final message transmitted by the quantum collective was simple yet profound: we came to observe. We leave having been transformed. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched as the alien vessel prepared to depart. The universe, she realized, was far more complex and beautiful than anyone had ever imagined. And humanity's journey was just beginning.